The Louisiana Restaurant Association presents the We Live to Eat podcast. It is said in Louisiana that a great deal of our culture revolves around food. The We Live to Eat podcast will explore Louisiana's restaurant industry one episode at a time. Laissez les bon temps rouler.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the We Live to Eat podcast, the official podcast for the Louisiana Restaurant Association. I am your host, Quentin Williams, and today we have a very special guest with us. She is the new CEO of Acme Oyster House. Please help me welcome Monique Ricci to our podcast. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm doing good. Doing real good. Monday afternoon, not Monday morning, but
Right. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight, this evening, not tonight.
No, yeah, thank you. I'm excited to talk with you and just get to know you and be a part of this podcast. So yeah.
Well, I know we've got a lot to talk about with Acme and all of that, seeing how you're getting into the position of a new CEO. But what I would like to start off with first is your experience before Acme. What were the things that got you into the restaurant industry, if it did, before you started working with Acme?
Yeah, sure. So my background, I'm from New Orleans, born and raised in New Orleans, went to Mount Carmel. I graduated from Loyola with a degree in graphic design. And so that's my passion, is art and design and advertising and marketing. I worked for a couple years at Peter Mayer Advertising as a designer, and Acme around 2009 was starting to look for a marketing person. They had originally had an agency that, but they were trying to find somebody to come internally to handle everything. So coming from a situation where I was handling multiple accounts, I worked on tourism, I worked on a few restaurants, Louisiana Economic Development, CenturyLink. So going from handling several very large accounts to just one account, and not only an account that, it would not just one account, it would be my family's account. So pressure was on. That would a shift that was going to be in my career. So I came on here in 2009 and been here ever since. We brought on an agency in 2014. They have helped really streamline how we place our media. When I first came on, our media was all over the place. We were doing, sponsoring this one television spot, and then to the next thing, we're running ads in random magazines that really weren't hitting our audience. So that was part of what we did 10 years ago, was really streamline how we did media. So I've been here for 16 years. Again, my background's in art and design and advertising. And I think that's kind of helped really just nurture this this whole brand that I've been around my entire life. I've known this logo. I know what we are. I know our voice. Really trying to show what we can be in the future has been fun.
And did you have any prior experience in the restaurant industry before getting with Acme?
I did. So I've worked in the restaurant. I worked in Acme as a host back when we had our lakefront location. That was before Katrina, and then during Katrina, our Metairie store was open, and I was in college at the time. So I think I bartended. I was waiting tables and I was hosting. I was not good at bartending. I quickly learned that, and I was better at hosting and greeting than trying to make cocktails.
Since the Acme name has been with your family since 1985, when your dad took over, do you have any experience or memories of Acme before that? Did your family ever go to Acme when you were younger or anything like that?
I grew up going to the restaurant in the French Quarter. That was, that's our flagship store. We used to have a jukebox. I remember, being a kid, we used to have a jukebox in the main dining area, and I used to think it was so much fun to just sit on the floor. It gross to even think about sitting on the floor of the French Quarter,
Uh-huh.
anywhere in the French Quarter. But I would just sit on the ground and I would play like random music. I thought the jukebox was just the coolest thing
Mhm.
ever in there. And then we opened up our Covington store on Boston Street. So
Right.
that was kind of our first jump into having a secondary location. And the lakefront, it's almost like every single location has like a chapter of I guess me growing up and then getting into
Uh-huh.
adulthood and then into my every single location has been like a chapter in my life. Like the lakefront to
Mhm.
me was when I was in high school and working tables and trying to sneak doing homework at the hostess stand and
Right.
getting away with what I could get away with. So yeah, every single location just has like a small chapter in my life.
Was it kind of odd for you to go from being at a place where you used to go as a family, I'm assuming, into a place where like, wow, now my family owns this establishment. Was there like a like um weird feeling to go from something you just went to something that now your family owns and is running?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've always had it since I was born, it's
Right.
always been, but it's never been something that it just felt like it was home. So it
Okay.
never felt, there was never a disconnect there. That's,
Hmm.
the people that still work in the French Quarter are still the people that saw me grow up, and
Hmm.
they're my family. So, and I hope I'm their family. I just was down there this morning, and I can go hop behind the bar and tease with them, and that's just it's my house. It's my home.
Right.
These people are my family. So, I don't think there was ever like I guess a shift there. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
And now that you're taking over the position of CEO, can you kind of go through the kind of the journey of being marketing manager into getting to marketing directorship in 2020 and now going into the arguably the most important job of being CEO? What was that transition, that journey like going from milestone to milestone into kind of
Yeah.
being the new head of the company?
Yeah, I mean, so I guess I started to toy with it a little bit maybe a few years ago, and after talking with Paul,
Hmm.
he really did mentor me along with several others, Cherie Baker. They really did mentor me to get to where I'm at, gave me the, I guess, encouragement and the self-confidence to realize like we don't need somebody from the outside doing this. You
Right.
know this job, you know this company, you know this brand better than anybody. It really, you just have to find confidence in yourself to be
Hmm.
able to do it. And um, taking my marketing background coupled with, I'm getting my master's right now in HRT over at UNO, which
Okay.
that has been wonderful. I've met
Hmm.
some really great people, Yvette Green over there. I've really been able to make connections with other people in the
Hmm.
industry that just know so much more than what I do, and to be able to have those connections. So really it's been, mentored within Acme, along with,
Hmm.
a little bit more education and understanding that of this industry itself. My, again, like my passion, my background was marketing and
Right.
advertising. This is an entirely separate industry. However, they are can be similar.
Hmm.
We're more marketers are marketers. You want to market no
Right.
matter if you're marketing a tourism account, which falls under hospitality, or if you're marketing a restaurant or a telecom. They all kind of are connected. It's just trying to establish what is your voice. What do we
Hmm.
want to say? How do we want to say it? And who do we want to connect with?
Did you find many learning curves going from some place into marketing into the much broader scope of being CEO? Or are you still feeling those learning curves now?
Oh yeah. I mean, I mean, I think anyone that says that they're fully confident in what they're doing or in their role is that I don't think there's always potential to learn more and more every single day. I learn from not only just the people that have been here longer, but I learn more from the hourly employees that I connect with every day in the restaurant. I mean, they're the ones
Hmm.
doing the work they're the ones that are selling our product and connecting with our customers every single day. So I learn more from them and our general managers. I mean,
Right.
they see it every single day. Those are the real MVPs.
DirecTV for Business National Accounts provides your customers the ultimate entertainment experience and the very best content. And becoming a national accounts client gives you the ultimate partner in curating that experience to your business's unique needs and brand standards across all locations nationwide. From exclusive live sports to real-time news and weather, premium content and consistent performance are just the beginning. With the largest support footprint in the industry, DirecTV for Business National Accounts provides a consultative experience like no other. Clients enjoy a relationship defined by white glove service with dedicated account and program managers to assist you every step of the way. From custom content recommendations that will keep your customers coming back to simplified and consolidated billing solutions, DirecTV for Business National Accounts provides proactive and responsive support, partnering with you to create a best-in-class experience for you and your customers. When you become a DirecTV for Business National Accounts client, you'll experience how ultimate entertainment and the power of strategic partnership empower you to create an unparalleled customer experience.
This is Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. Satisfy your cravings with world-famous Louisiana seafood. All the flavors you love, prepared by our world-famous chefs, and fresh from our bountiful waters to your plate. So head over to your local favorite restaurant and be sure to ask for authentic Louisiana seafood. Brought to you by the Louisiana Restaurant Association and Louisiana Seafood Board. A perfect pair.
Not just anybody can make the perfect Sazerac. And not just anybody can offer Louisiana's hospitality industry the perfect workers' comp coverage. The Louisiana Restaurant Association's SIF team knows what hospitality businesses need. We truly care about your team's safety and your success. Everybody who's anybody goes with LRA workers' comp. Ask around. In this business, word of mouth is everything.
I wanted to talk a little bit about your involvement with the LRA. Now, had you known much about the LRA growing up as a kid? Have you ever heard your dad talk about the LRA and anything of that nature before you actually got into the business of the restaurant industry as you are now and before being in marketing?
I mean, so I've known about the LRA. We've always been a part of the LRA.
Right.
I mean, since for as long as I can remember.
Mhm.
You always hear the same common names, the same people that have been around are still there, so I'm starting to meet some of those connections.
Mhm.
Paul's really taken me under his wing to all of these events and so when I'm meeting these people, I'm like, oh, I've heard your name before,
Right.
these names have been thrown around in meetings as just like someone to connect with, or if you had a problem or a question, or how are y'all handling this, this certain situation whenever a problem arises. These are the same common names that are coming up in our conversations internally. So now I'm finally getting to meet those faces, like a face to a name sort of thing. So I've known about the LRA. My brother has actually done a fantastic job. I know he's just got elected to a board position. So I know he really loves it and has made some really great friends and connections over there. So just kind of, I'm just dipping my toe a little bit into the pool.
Right, because now you're in a position where you're much more involved as the leader of this company with the LRA and everything that it has to offer. So you're just kind of wading in through the waters, trying to figure out like the whole networking thing and really getting to meet people now more than ever.
Yeah, I mean, and the LRA has always been wonderful to us. Whenever we have, it gives you the connection to so many different people that we're all in the same industry. We're all passionate about the same thing. And we all face the same problems and challenges every day. So how to be able to bounce that off to other people and like, how are you handling this one issue, or, food costs constantly going up. How are you battling that? How do you keep your employees happy? How are you, different training methods? Those are things that we talk about internally a lot. So I know being able to have that community focus, all in the same industry, we're all trying to solve the same problems. That to me is very important. I know the LRA gives that all the time. I've only been to a couple events and I feel that every single time I go into one.
Going into your involvement with Acme, starting out as manager, now as CEO, before then, did you ever find yourself thinking in the future with your marketing and graphic design degree that the goal was always to be part of the family business?
I mean, if we're going to be truthful, of course, when I was graduating college, I saw myself as a big, really, I wanted to be a creative director. That was my goal at Peter Mayer, was to become a creative director, a senior art director. I'm still very much passionate about branding and marketing, and I think that I wear that hat every day. When I came on in the Acme, I never in college or even like through my high school career was like, that's what I want to do. I want to be a part of the restaurant. That's not really where I saw my career path going. But as I got into it, I realized how much of a change, or I guess what I could bring to the table from a marketing background and a branding background. I'm a big consistency person. I think that goes with branding and how you carry your brand and the voice that you come across to your audience, and not only to your external audience, but your internal audience. How do we connect with our employees? How do they connect to us as a company and as a brand? That is something I value very much. So as a career path, no, but now, 16 years ago, I would have said no, but now if you would have asked me 10 years ago, I would have said, absolutely, sign me up. Let's do this. I love a good challenge. And the fact that I've been in, that it's my family's business, and I couldn't imagine somebody else coming in and trying to do it, because I feel like I'd be like, no, let me show you how to do it. So that to me, I think the course of my thought process on my career started to change about 10 years ago, and where I could be in the company.
Going back to your new position as CEO, and with the fact that you're following in the footsteps of what your father had established when he took over in 1985, and the fact that Acme has had such a long career in the New Orleans area, being around for more than 100 years, was there any initial feeling of pressure taking on this legacy, not only as in terms of the family business, but as this huge legacy of what Acme is? Was there initial pressure in trying to take on all of that?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like imposter syndrome, you're like, can I do this? Am I supposed to be doing this? I question myself all the time. But I'm telling you that I would not have the confidence if it weren't for people like Paul and Cherie Baker and my dad, my husband. It's you got to walk the walk and talk the talk. So it's tough, and especially when it's your families, you feel, I think, just a smidge more pressure to not do anything wrong, or be, you want to see it grow for, for your family, for your siblings, for my parents. The pressure is definitely there. And trying not to, you want other people to believe that you can do it. So, that's been a definitely an internal challenge of my own, but, again, without the support of the other people around me, that's where I find it. The confidence is from them.
Now that you're kind of the second generation to be part of this leadership establishment in Acme, are you now looking towards the future of the next generation taking over when it's time for you and your brother, who's the director of beverages, to kind of at some point hand over the baton to the next family? generation?
I think it's still too premature to say that. I mean, we're just
Okay.
getting into the second generation.
Right.
That who knows, who knows what the next 3, 5 years is going to come, 10 years. I know right now part of like my first challenge that we're putting on ourselves is to rediscover our brand. We did
Mm-hmm.
this 10 years ago where we interview anybody from like a bartender, waiter, expediter to people who have been that are higher ups in the executive level at the company. So it's a whole brand rediscovery, not only, from like what do you see us as a brand, but to what do you want your customer to feel when they walk out the door. So
Right.
we're in those initial stages right now. In fact, I was at our French Quarter store all morning doing that, and then we shift over to one of our other stores tomorrow to do more
Mm-hmm.
interviews. And we did this 10 years ago. We didn't do it as large, but I
Right.
feel like revisiting that is very important, and it also gives us some feedback on what's happening inside the restaurant every day, and
Mm-hmm.
what do our bartenders and our waiters and our hosts, what do they see from the customers, and what do you want them to feel when they walk out the door? So that's kind of
Right.
my first challenge. And I
Mm-hmm.
think seeing where those things go will determine what the third generation may do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think right now we're just focusing on just a brand rediscovery, not
Right.
changing anything. I
Mm-hmm.
think our brand is strong, but seeing what I think it's important to listen to your employees, and they know more than you do. And information is knowledge. So tell me
Mm-hmm.
everything you know.
The one thing you keep bringing up is brand and voice and trying to bring out a feeling to customers. Would you say that the brand goal you've been having ever since you took over marketing and now as CEO was to kind of create almost, and maybe this goes along the line of it being a family business, kind of giving that family identity and feeling into the voice and image of Acme?
Sure. I mean, yes, we've always been or have tried to market ourselves as a very family familiar
Hmm.
restaurant, that you can come as you are. Your waiter or waitress, they're going to know you. Typically, if you're a regular, they're going to know about, your birthday that you had last week. They're going
Right.
to ask you things that they're so familiar. They're going to know your kids' names. So that familiar aspect has always been important. But as we look to, the next 5, 10, 15 years, I know we want
Hmm.
to see how can we dial into a younger generation,
Right.
what will bring a new customer through our doors,
Hmm.
and how do we dial into them? What are they into? What is interesting? Is it, we got a food truck about, I guess, 6 months ago. We rebranded
Okay.
it and
Hmm.
sent it out to Florida, and it's kind of given us an opportunity to do these little pop-ups
Right.
and get around town and maybe hit an audience that isn't going to visit us because maybe we're too far away from where
Hmm.
they live, or is it a chance for us to try new menu items that we necessarily don't want to put on the menu, but we can kind of tease them through the food truck.
Right.
So, that's kind of been one of the challenges, I guess, is we love being a family restaurant. We
Hmm.
love the familiar aspect that we are able to give to our customers, but how do you attract a new audience, a new
Right.
younger audience? What are
Hmm.
they into? I mean, I scratch my head all the time.
Right. Hmm. It's that kind of that dance of trying to figure out what works already and kind of trying to find the new thing to, like you said, get that new audience in while still being kind of that still familiar brand and face and voice.
Yeah, we want to be able to keep who we have, but I mean, it's what gets them going. What makes
Hmm.
what makes a younger audience member want to come through your doors? Is it the
Right.
constant change in menu? Is it, the limited time offer? Is it,
Hmm.
following a food truck around and seeing what they got today?
Right.
We're trying a lot of different things just to see, and it also gives us to, obviously I'm a creative person. I believe in creativity and then changing things up a little bit. It keeps your brain going. It keeps also, I think, the people that work with you and keeps them excited. Oh, there's always something new coming down the pipeline, and it keeps their brain always thinking about doing new things, and they have new ideas. So I enjoy the creativity side of it so much.
Right. Well, as we begin to wrap up this episode, I wanted to ask you, and you did touch on it a bit, what you're looking forward to in the next 5 and 10 years, but I would like to maybe hone it in, and maybe you don't have an idea yet because you're just still finding the right footing into this job as CEO. But now that you're in this position, what are you thinking about as the future in terms of Acme? Because I know that your dad, in his time leading the company, he was able to expand to different states in Florida and Alabama and be much bigger than just a Louisiana name. Now, I don't know if you're thinking that far ahead. Like I said, you're just trying to get your footing into this massive position. But what do you see under your tutelage, the future of Acme in the next years to come?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we want to see growth, and I think that'll come as, like you said, as I get my footing and figuring out when is the right time to do those growth opportunities. But I do look forward to, working alongside with Tony and together as a team. I know we can do some really great things, and he brings so much to the table creatively, even with just his food ideas. I'm sometimes so blown away that I'm like, how he is with food is how I am with graphic design. So it's, sometimes I think those things will be able to marry each other and we can do some really fun things. So I really am looking forward to growing this company with him, and I'm excited about the challenge of getting that new audience member. I think it's there, and I do think that will open up other doors we haven't even thought we could open necessarily, that aren't even being talked about right now amongst us as a team. I think that there are so many opportunities for us once we really are able to get in touch with that younger audience, that I think we'll start thinking about other things. And those opportunities will be at our door. So doing that with Tony, because he just creatively, he can bring so much to the table as well. So I think both of us together, working together as a team, it's going to be great.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time out of, I'm sure, a very busy schedule these days to come and talk to me. I do very much appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you, Quentin. It was really great. It was really, really great to talk to you.
And thank you, everyone, for listening, and to make sure to tune into another exciting episode of the We Live to Eat podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Louisiana Restaurant Association's We Live to Eat podcast. Please join us for future podcasts where we'll discuss restaurants, food, and culture in the state where we live to eat. Until then, bon appetit.